Hello and welcome back. Today we're playing Victoria 3 as Syria. Last episode, we became the number one GDP, still not the number one great power, but we are the number one GDP, and when I looked back over the episode, I noticed that we actually also at the same time tripled construction. Roughly speaking, we went from like low 500s to, 1470, and so this is a big driver of why our line is like straight vertical. It's not about the size of the line, it's about the shape of the line, and it's going straight up. We also protectorate in Brazil, and we are working on incorporating Cursed America. It was kind of a big part of what we're doing. We increased the volume of trade with the American market. Now notice that is the American market, not the American market. Important distinction between the American and the American market. This is the most cursed America I've ever seen. We puppeted New Africa. The Confederate States of America, in fact, do not have slavery. Slavery's banned in the Confederate States, but it's legal in America, which has to be the most American America, because the United States of America has more words in it that aren't America. Whereas this America, it's 100% America in terms of all words, and also has slavery. So the Confederates, I think, might be the only one. Well, New Africa, of course, can't have slavery. Yeah. But the Confederate States have slavery banned, and then America and the United States don't have slavery banned. This is the most cursed American timeline. We hopefully will annex them and relieve them of this curse. While also market access. So DC is where the market capital is, so their entire market is cut off. It just only DC has access. I wish the AI was better at resolving this sort of thing, and also when they rev, you don't get these weird situations. But okay, we're gonna try and pull America into our market. Now that is the American America. So this is kind of one thing we'll be focused on this episode. In the interim, we put in a bunch of trade routes, so they should kind of develop a bit of a different attitude towards us on the back of that. And we also declared to annex Chile, and we will be off and away on that front. Looks like a bunch of people, a bunch of things are coming in. Here are part of like the trade routes we put in. They should change attitude relatively quickly. When you do a large volume of trade, it can change this attitude as well as, give you bonuses towards inviting the customs union. But if they weren't cautious, we would be pretty close that I think we would only need an obligation. We get an obligation from New Granada, that's good. I think our plan was to protectorate them. Can't quite do it right now because ideological differences in our government. But if we had 10 more power projection, we would be able to do it with our military. You have to get to any number greater than minus 59, and then you can use an obligation. Getting some mass migration events is also nice. We also have Bahrain keeps having revolutions, and so we might bankroll them if we can afford the extra bureaucracy, just because we want them to not do that. We added a bunch of stuff to the queue. Why don't we add a couple more government admins? Great Britain sides with Chile. Well, this is an interesting development. Huh. We can actually pretty comfortably fight Great Britain at this point. This is kind of one of the reasons why South America can be annoying to expand into early on. It's generally a really soft spot, except for the Falkland Islands. That's the Falkland Islands, are owned by Great Britain, and so they can stick their thumb in your pie occasionally. And so I think we will be going up to 100 on our barracks here in Aleppo, and then trying to resolve the shortage that we're having of military goods, which I think is ammo. I think we're partially starting to resolve it, but I think our ammo production's over here. I think I want some in here next to, where we have the arms production, just right next to the capital. I suppose we could put it here, and this would maybe be an okay place for it. So let's put a couple of munition plants. And let's make sure we're importing. I believe we are importing from the UK, and so this isn't going to cut it anymore. I think we can import from Americans and French. We have some convoys available. We do want to expand the convoys. This is one of the reasons we're expanding the Navy, is so that our shipyards can employ better. because currently they are having a trouble employing. But what we might do was we could make shipyards in unincorporated territory. Man, Russia's also blocking us from colonizing here, which is a bit annoying. If we could take this from Russia, maybe we could, you know, stop their ability to get a hold of the Congo kind of early. But that's, right now we should be focused on this war with Great Britain. Oranhe begins mobilization. They are a subject. We should be damaging relations with them, I think, because we want to annex them. We are running a large deficit, but this is fine. Also, we have experimented a little bit in terms of, like, we're trying out staying on per capita taxation, which so far has been very interesting. A big part of why we're staying on is just so we don't make the Industrialists mad, although I think we could swap now, and they would be fine with it, and it would actually make the trade unionists happy, so now is probably actually a good time to swap if it's only a -5 on the Industrialists. Yeah, so we would still maintain their bonus, and then we would get the bonus of the trade unions. But it's been interesting sticking on this because the way it does is it's a flat tax, right? It's a land tax and a per capita tax and then an income tax rate, okay? Which has been relatively... it has led to the capitalists having a lot of money, so usually the investment pool transfer for me does not exceed the national revenue, so like what you get from other taxes, poll taxes, income taxes, etc., minting, all this. Now it is exceeding it by quite a bit, which is fine because we're just constructing a lot anyways, but it is a bit interesting. Also, whenever we like lower the tax rate, it just grows even more because they're making even more money because we're taxing them less. We might have to increase taxes in a little bit, but I don't think we want to. And so it's been an interesting test, but I think we can swap over just to make sure that we're getting the bonus. And then if we don't push it through, we're kind of okay with that. But in order to unlock this bonus from them there, do you have a decay? So we will lose their bonus at some point by switching to proportional. But proportional will put a lot more money in our pocket, is a big reason to go proportional, directly in our pocket, and then we can spend it however we want instead of needing to spend it on construction. Also, yeah. So, that one is interesting. We are still working to expand the market. I think we have checked all of these guys somewhat recently for obligations. America is not coming around yet, but they should be soon. Iraq, we were just waiting on an obligation for. They're really close to just naturally being able to join our market, but not quite there. Do we have someone heading to the front? We do. We have someone heading there. Not sure why Great Britain joined in on this, if they're not going to send anyone. Now I don't think we could possibly land Great Britain. Let's take a look, actually. So we're probably not going to put any war goals on Great Britain. Oh, they're not on ironclads yet. Our navy is ramping up. If we could land the capital, we could do some stuff. Oh, we could transfer Upper Canada too. That would be sick. Because there's Ontario. This war goes through, right? Yeah, this war's going through. How much infamy do we have to work with? We have quite a bit, so we could transfer Upper Canada to lock in Ontario. Where's this Lower Canada? It's Upper Canada. That's quite a bit of infamy. We could just have them release Upper Canada and then just try and get them more naturally. So the question is do we want to incur the infamy now? Liberating the British Raj generally just weakens them a huge amount, so we're gonna put that in anyways. I think I want to liberate Upper Canada as well. I guess we really want war reps if we're gonna enforce anything on them. And then I think we do want to liberate Upper Canada and maybe another country. Or we could transfer Upper Canada. This is the question, whether transferring Upper Canada is better. Although what we can do, so all these internal countries, a whole chunk of them, do not have any access to the sea, yeah? So if we release the British Raj and then get Baroda out as well, then this cuts off all of them from access to the British market, which will just collapse the British market. And so the question is as a part of, like, well, I guess we already put in. So we could transfer Baroda here. Except for we might end up white piecing them, so why don't we just liberate Baroda? Or sorry. Yeah, liberate Baroda. And then Upper Canada. I'm not sure we really wanted to make Great Britain this week as we're doing. Because we need to fight Russia and Austria. We don't really need to fight Great Britain anymore in order to achieve the overall objective. But I suppose that this is kind of like the way we conceptualize or think about if we were trying for a bigger project, we would want to weaken them quite a bit. Where's Upper Canada? Are they not on there? Why aren't they on there? Do we need to have an interest specifically there? Okay, fair enough. We might not get that interest in time, in which case we'll add different war goals. I also kind of don't think we'll be able to land them, so I think we're just not... Whoa! Hold up. I'm gonna take a screen of this. America's gotten even more cursed. The cursing continues. That is wild. Now, of course, they're gonna rebel because they don't have market access anywhere. And of course, America won't be able to win this. Now, if we don't want America to look cursed, what we could do is we could side with one of these guys. And it doesn't really matter which, we'll just be able to enforce on them. But, I think it's funnier to just let them figure that out. So we must have an interest down here, right? Yeah, so let's establish the colony there. And there. And add some war goals. Canada interest is activated. Upper Canada. Release. Liberate subject. And we can pick one more. All of these guys should like rebel and collapse, and Britain will not be able to get a front, but they can get a front with countries like Mysore. But I think that we actually just liberate the Columbia district as well, something like this. Oh, I guess we don't have an interest there. That's fair. I guess New South Wales is fine. Yeah, it looks like they don't believe in moving guys to the front, so not sure why they joined here, actually, at all. Really just don't get it. We will even get to try and get a landing in. I suppose we'll have this guy move to where our 48 is. With the idea that once this happens, we can land with our 48, and once he gets here, we can land with our 48 in the UK. Of course, landing the UK, if they don't move any of their troops here, is actually going to probably not work out, so it's probably just going to be white piecing, but that's fine too. Or us capitulating, which just ends, since they have no war goals on us, it just ends the war. And we just get a comfortable annex on Chile, which means that it was probably a proper decision to not transfer Upper Canada, but instead release it, because I don't think we're going to get this enforcement. In fact, why don't we just maybe invade now? And I know we don't have power on this front, but it'll get here. Could also probably increase this and put in another consumption tax. Is that a glass shortage or what exactly? Dyes are a little bit expensive. Let's try and make dyes cheaper. Really more concentrated effort here. We deleted some of their ports, so that's awkward rebuilding them. This is an opportunity to maybe get a war against Russia. So maybe we would join with Radical Mecklenburg just to fight Russia a little bit, but not right now because we're fighting Great Britain. Cursed, cursed America, please. It's so nice having expanded this queue quite a bit. And the thing we're looking at is we're looking to drain this investment pool. This drainage is occurring pretty quick, even with this huge transfer. Or it's because of this huge transfer, but look, our national transfer is 1.2 mil, our national revenue is 700k. That is wild. And we're, of course, hemorrhaging money, deficit spending like this, but I think we grow into it. Let's take a look. It's one of the reasons, also, the problem with Russia and Austria is I think our economy can't, I don't think we can handle, oh, we can try and make coal cheaper a little bit. Oh, yeah. This will help out a lot. Let's actually just go through and import inputs and double check all this stuff. Because it's been a little while since we've done this. Of course, the dyes came up. Yes, I understand now. The dyes came up because we were importing them from Great Britain. Maybe we could get the Netherlands in our market. It looks like we're importing a lot of inputs from them. We could get a lot of tea. I guess Sind is another one to try and pull in our market. Siak, we're also doing a decent amount of volume with now. We have a trade agreement with Russia and Austria, so it doesn't really cost as much to do imports from them. We want fertilizer to be expensive because we want our boom booms to employ. We do want wood to be cheap. Usually lead is hard to employ, but I guess we can get some from the Americans. Iron, we always want cheap. Or we can get a ton from the Prussians. We might want to play nice with the Prussians. I think we might be rivaling them now. I think they might be one of the few allies we can expect to have against Austria. So let's actually make sure we're not naughty mode with them. We're not. Okay. And then what's really cheap in our market that we want expensive? We would want this more expensive. Cannons are cheap? Wild. Oh, we want to be exporting this to Qing. And I think Prussia and the Dutch. So we might be able to pull the Netherlands into our market. And we'll take a look at furniture as well. Also, we want to be less reliant on our exports to Russia. Okay, so what was it? Siak and Sind were two we were doing a ton of volume with now. So we'll start bankrolling them. I see that they're antagonistic, but maybe we can make something happen. In Sind, we will also start bankrolling. And Netherlands, also maybe we could get a trade agreement. We're close. Also close to this. We don't have a native... Oh, we don't have enough Diplo. Unfortunately, we can't really... Ah, maybe we can rival Great Britain. No, we can rival Americas. We're trying to pull them into the market, though. We can rival Scandinavia. Not exactly who we want to rival. So I think we just sit tight on this. And just say our kingdom for more Diplo. And we should start making a lot more money once all these trade routes start to resolve. Yeah, just really wish we could get... Ooh, let's try and... Let's just import the boom booms as much as we can, because we're having a really hard time getting that done. And now that we have feminism, it might be time to come back into this and go for electricity. We had some desire to do a mill tech, right? We could do monitor. Well, monitor, we're just never going to research it in time. Oh, we were thinking malaria prevention here. Yeah, let's do malaria prevention. To just try and get into the Congo ahead of Russia, or make sure that we get access to the Congo and the rubber. Just in terms of sequencing, seems a little bit more heads up. We are getting a landing attempt here, and this never goes through. It looks like, yeah, this is not... I don't think this is going to be very close. Okay, so we're just going to white peace out once we finish pushing all this. And let's take a look. Isolated regions. Gabon. Building that. Hero Land. We'll build that. Eastern New Guinea. We'll build that. Western New Guinea. We'll build that. Western Australia. We'll build that. South Island. We'll build that. We have an unhealthy economy, you're telling me. Exporting porcelain to the Qing market is unproductive. Let's see what's all unproductive. We want the opium to be imported. We'll stop exporting that, or importing that, or exporting, whatever it is. Guess we'll come off of this. We want to keep all our trade routes with Iraq, because we are trying to pull them into our market. We're going to offer them an obligation, but we don't want to do that. We do not want to have the we do not want to be spending the Diplo. Kind of also set up some auto-expanding on the grain over here, because I think we want to be producing a lot more grain in unincorporated territories specifically, because currently fertilizer is not as expensive as we would want, or the equilibrium for fertilizer is not so good. I think I'm going to take this because I want the trade union's bonus, but we do get that, but we can solve that. But now, we are running the trade union's bonus, which is very nice. It's a very powerful bonus, so we will just expand the bureaucracy a little bit more, and we should be fine. Now, Scandinavia's got a fight against Holstein. And we could just join just so they get happier with us. We're trying to get them into our market at some point. Would be nice. So we could just join Scandinavia and be, hey bud, we'll help you out. It's unnecessary to move that big a guy there, but this is gonna clean up before, so... And okay, you know, we're still decaying infamy, this is fine that we come to help this out. This is kind of not as fine. And so, you know, and the investment pool is growing. I guess it's just too unbalanced because we actually need access to more of this money ourselves. A big part of this is also the bureaucratic deficit we're running. We're getting tax waste. But since we can afford... We don't have any feminists yet. And it looks like we can afford to go proportional taxation and have the industrialists not get mad at us. So I think we'll go that route. It also will kind of lock in the trade unionists a little bit. Their bonuses are better. The workforce ratio is an equilibrium bonus, I believe. So we will trend towards that increased ratio, which is just going to make everything a lot more productive. And then we're just helping out Scandinavia, because we just want them to like us. Because if we can pull them into the market, that'd be fantastic. If they gave us an obligation, also would be fantastic. But let's look through the diplomatic lens. Or, actually, no, diplomatic tab. And declare interests. I think we don't want an interest here anymore. I guess we'll instead have it here, in America. And we are going to capitulate to the UK, because I don't think we get this landing off ever. Or at least not until we have a much bigger navy and army, and better things going, and maybe the landing crafts tech. If they are mobilized and just sitting at home, I don't think we get it. And they can't decay below 0 unless we... I mean, I guess... What we could have done is we could have only asked for like one of these and looked to occupy like Baroda or Upper Canada or New South Wales, something like this, but we're just going to capitulate to them. Because they have no war goals on us. Or propose a white peace. And now that we've incorporated them, we're probably going to have to do a little bit of stuff. We're going to leave the government admin for now. Eventually, I think we want to delete it. We're just going to take a quick look. I'm going to build one of you, set you on auto expand. Although they do make fertilizers, so what we could do actually... Alright, let's swap all these PMs over real quick. And then talk about maybe eating a less efficient PM. Notably, we're not swapping the chemical plants over because we really want them to employ. We want to swap over to covered markets at some point, but glass has just stayed really expensive. I guess we'll start swapping it over piecemeal. Arts Academy, photographic art on all of them. And then we'll talk about... So we want to use fertilizer on all of our things. But what we could do is we could switch to simple ranches, which actually makes more money, and it makes less... the problem is it makes less fabric as well, which is a little bit annoying. But we're importing fabric, and it consumes less grain, so we get more grain in our market, which we're fine with. And it makes less fertilizer, which can make our boom booms employ a bit more, I think. So we'll swap to that for now. It is not a very good PM, but it's good for right now, I think. Because we are having problems with the explosives fully employing. And we want everything on hardwood and steam trawlers. Thank you. There we go. That was pretty easy. I'm getting faster at clicking. So we get photographic arts. I think we want probably the migration attraction. No. I'm a sucker for tech. I can never say no. Oop, let's actually double check that we are using the max paper, or whatever. Breech loaders, it's more efficient now. Yeah, we are using the good paper. How expensive is glass in our market? Yeah, we have a shortage after swapping some of those things over. Not good. We've been trying to really uptick a lot of the glass production in a lot of places. I guess we will. Yeah, this just has a hard time employing. I mean, we could swap to this, which might be what we have to do. Why don't we swap over here? And it'll be pretty good. Yeah, Russia is really starting to sneak in here. Which is why we're going malaria prevention, so we can hopefully get a piece of the Congo before we get fully cut off. Might have to start damaging relations with them. It costs a lot to damage relations with them, so we'd rather just, at some point, go surprise into a war. I guess we'll go with Siak and Sind. We will try and, bankroll them. I guess we could afford to also damage relations with one of these two. The big thing why we need to fight Austria is we want to get this guy into our customs union, but if our customs union became more valuable, it'd be fine, but it's not going to, because they have really cheap consumer goods because we're exporting to them. We could maybe embargo them. I think we need to have negative relations, so maybe we start damaging relations. Just, this is a very long-term thing. It probably won't make a difference for, like, this episode. Get elastics for textile mills. I don't think we have any rubber, so this is kind of whatever. Let's just quickly check through our bankrolls. Can't protectorate you. Can't get you into the customs union yet. Temporary embarrassment. We cannot afford that negative tax income. In fact, I think we need to increase taxes. Our businesses became way less profitable, so we're not getting... we're actually getting really close to defaulting, so we're gonna stem the bleeding a little bit. But this doesn't help out too much because it also makes all our businesses less profitable. Are we still super righteous? We are. We're gonna increase it again. No, actually, we're gonna hold here for a second. Might have overexpanded some stuff, some construction. Tripling construction might have been a little too ambitious. Economy is huge though, so there's that. We're paying quite a bit in interest now. We're paying a bit in subsidies, a bit in welfare, military wages, goods for military. A lot of it's just government wages, goods for government buildings. See if we can bring down the price of paper then, eh? Just do a little bit of whack-a-mole. Obligation owed to us by Afghanistan expired. That's not ideal. Is some of this... Oh, okay, so 300k of this deficit is the fact that we can't cover the rural goods and the government buildings, so we're actually in kind of okay shape here. We get an obligation from America. So we will absolve it to make them cordial. This should start changing a little bit. Once we get proportional taxation, which we might not even on this tick, we'll be in much better shape. Can we protectorate you? Not very easily. We might have to damage relations with these guys and just puppet them all natural. For whatever reasons, we could not puppet them before. They are in a customs union, so as soon as we get negative relations, they get ejected. Maybe we just start damaging relations now. We could end a trade agreement as soon as, if we wanted to really just jack relations down. But we are kind of okay with the slow decline. We do want the trade agreement for now. And we have a bunch of free construction. So we're going to 51 this. And try and make paper as cheap as possible. So this is 33, 43, 48, 1, 2, 3. We're just adding a few of those to the front of the queue. We know these things want to auto-expand. We're going to try and get steel down a little bit. Glass? Is glass still a shortage? No. Boom booms are coming along. Why don't we try and 51 this? I know it's not employing up all the way, but we will increase the economies of scale throughput bonus as well by doing this. Which will hopefully... And see, now we're only losing 200k. I think our growth outstrips this. So as long as we stay only making like industrial stuff for the most part, we will be okay until we enact proportional taxation, and then we'll probably try and, you know, slowly work our way out of this debt. You know, just kind of chill a little bit. We are having a hard time employing in any of these places. This place is really golden, so let's just... Why don't we just do some of that action? Temporary embarrassment? You're telling me, but it lasts forever. Okay, so... we'll come off of it for now. Could even switch to graduated, but I think that makes the Industrialists too mad. I guess we'll chill for now. Education gets max leveled, which is nice. Sorry about the vacuum. Just a moment. Okay, I am back. Let's keep this show going. Yeah, we're flirting with disaster a little bit here with the default kind of looming overhead. But we can, I think we can maintain. Let's see about just the boom booms. Just pain. Coal is a major cost. in our market. We are importing a whole lot of it, but it is... So first we're going to do that. We're going to make sure the coal is on auto expand. And then I think we're going to make a bunch more... Let's take a look at... So these things are profitable, so the profitability is not the problem, really. But one of their inputs is coal, and the other's sulfur. So if we can make the coal and the sulfur cheaper, that'll help. So let's also set these new ones on auto expand. Then why don't we add a smattering there, and just add a ton of coal into the queue. And then iron as well. Wherever we have peasants, we're just going to increase it. Sulfur where we have peasants as well. And hopefully that starts to solve some of our problems. A little bit of discomfort here. America now owes us another obligation. Can we invite you to the customs union? No, but we can absolve and make you friendly. We're going to take a quick rundown of all these. I think you are not. You're getting closer. You're friendly, so absolving doesn't do anything for you. We have an obligation, and we can get Iraq in the customs union. Hurrah. Now, the question is, can we protectorate them? And the answer is, it's going to be tough a little bit. We'll see what we can do. More than happy to get a trade agreement with them. Let me just double check. So now that they are there, does it count Iraq? It doesn't count Iraq for just being in the customs union. They have to be at least a protectorate. We do want to take this dirt from the Ottomans. I think we can afford the infamy tick now. I'm concerned it will default us, though, if we raise the armies. So we're not going to do that yet. So maybe we resolve this boom booms problem. They're so close to just... Oh, we have an obligation with them. Somehow we get another. We're going to pull them into our customs union. Hurrah. I think we keep bankrolling them because we want to protectorate them. And it's kind of close. We just need a bigger power projection. And Sind doesn't want it. We could annex Iran, hey. No one probably joins in. They probably just back down. This is probably fine. Spain's importing clothes from us. We are doing pretty well on the radicals loyalist ratios. Population is just screaming up. GDP having a couple hiccups here and there, but it is for the most part doing well. Let's play a little whack-a-mole. Guess we'll solve that with a port. Yeah, our ambition to make dyes cheaper kind of cost us quite a bit of money when we put it in here. Now we are draining the investment pool pretty quick, so something's got to give here in it, like, pretty shortly. I don't want to ramp stuff down. I guess I could go for graduated taxation. This doesn't radicalize. I think I would make more money under graduated, but this would just very quickly make the industrialists weak. I guess we could take one tick of it. It would be preferable to proportional. And then if we get this in, maybe we switch to a more peasant strategy rather than industrialists. And if we don't get the tick, then we swap to proportional, which we would generally prefer. We're gonna just raise this guy and put him on the thing. Now, do we have anywhere with insufficient tax capacity? We do. So we'll fix it. Under the assumption that we are going to need more bureaucracy in the near-ish future. Russia is really going in there. They're going hard in the paint. Looks like they're gonna be pretty effective at cutting us off. Can we? I wish we could see their tech tree. I want to know if they have malaria prevention is the biggest thing. So we have traditionalists and a moderate. I think we're gonna let them fight. We really want to, at some point, get a feminist. Who died? That's unfortunate. We were really hoping that this guy would die and we would get a feminist, but we got a moderate from him, which is better. But unfortunately, we lost the bonus of the industrialists by trying to pass this, but I think we gained the trade unions bonus. Trade unions are in danger of becoming weak here, and the intelligentsia is really strong. This is more clout than we'd like, I think. Yep, they back down, yielding a Ronhe. Which, oh my god, look at all these gold mines. This is such a nice spot to expand because there's a lot of gold in both Transvaal and here. But we will just kick these all to the front of the queue. Along with... delete the barracks. Build a couple rails, probably. I don't know if we need 2. Yeah, we're gonna need 2. We're gonna need 3, actually. And we're gonna need to swap some PMs over. Suppose we could have done it. We'll keep that on intensive. Really having a problem with the boom booms though. Might have to shut off all my auto expansion that I've set up on stuff. Kind of actually pleased to be using a lot more fertilizer here with the millet. And I just think that we can't afford the war. Yeah, this investment pool is about to drain. So we will, with great shame and reluctance, downsize this by 5. In anticipation of, you know, this running out in just a second here. The great dream that was 15k construction or whatever. We're just looking to spread out the decreases. I know here we're actually having like labor shortage problems, so we'll just do -2, which hopefully allows, you know, some of this glass stuff to employ a little bit better, and also reduces the demand for glass and stuff. This is coming down. This should come down as well. The speed at which we're draining. And we won't be running such a big deficit. We had 2 politicians die. Okay, we have moderate, moderate, moderate. Everyone's a moderate except the industrialists are reformers, which is quite nice for us. We're going to take 1 tick of the graduated taxation, then pull off of it. Yeah, our growth I don't think is outstripping our gain in... So now this pool is drained, and our growth's not fast enough. Well, we're coming off this anyways, so we'll just do this, and do this, and we're fine now. This is kind of a, this is a tenable equilibrium we got here. It looks like the coal getting cheaper is helping. The wood's kind of expensive. But we can just up the wood wherever there's peasants. I think this is a decent way of approaching this. Investment pool is growing. We're about break even now. Unfortunately, Solidarity gets deactivated. We really want that bonus. But we're going to start... When can we swap over? We need 4 months. This is fine. We're about break even. Well, we're close to break even here. So we can float this for a little while. We are, of course, close to... Our credit line is increasing, though, is important to emphasize here. So even though we're, like, break even, our credit line increasing is virtually the same thing as decreasing the problems we're in. We jumped to number 2 great power. Just a little behind Austria now. With much bigger GDP than them. Let's check our bankrolls. Our bankrolls are also kind of expensive, I think. Oh, and we're not getting, like, war reps from anyone anymore. Is probably a big driver of why we had to decrease stuff a little bit. Okay, New Granada, can we protectorate you? Oh, we can protectorate you. Yes. They stopped defending the borders. Let's go, baby. Just checking our other ones. New Granada accepts the subjugation, and we will damage relations with them instead now. So it was a little bit of an expensive bankroll. What are we looking at infamy? Yeah, we're decent. I think that if we wanted to take this city's had like no access, so it probably is pretty cheap. Yeah, it is pretty cheap. We can get a whole bunch of people joining against us, though, so this will be a little bit tense if we do this. I think we want to just have a little bit more of a buffer in regards to our credit line before we do that. We will be able to try and pass proportional taxation soon here. I guess maybe we should have tried to pass it sooner. I do think it's better than per capita in a general sense, but... was kind of curious to try and run up the per capita a little bit and see what we could do. And I guess we saw, so that was kind of something. A little bit of a hiccup slash flatline here. Let's take a look at what's expensive in our market and see if we can fix any of that. Coffee is really expensive. Can we import it? A little bit from Russia. Porcelain's expensive. This is probably a consequence of us. Oh, now we can import porcelain comfortably from Qing. So I guess we'll do that. Because we switched to just glass only here. Which a big part is we're just trying to get these places to employ. And they're not wanting to. The investment pool is growing now, so we're in pretty good shape. Get an obligation from Sind. Fantastic. Let us absolve it to make them cordial, to get them into the customs union faster. Yeah, as soon as they're not defending the borders, we can protectorate them, which is not the situation we have with them because we have too many ideological differences with them, so that's why we're going to try and militarily get Oman now. We're going to try and up them, but I think that I think now's the time to go for this. I don't think we mobilize everyone. I think just just enough to put people on fronts. Or get that front taken care of, at least. La Plata, we're paying for military in La Plata. We don't want to be. Let's kind of make sure all these are correct. We don't want to be paying for any of this because we're not going to raise it. We want all these on steel passenger. Looks like we don't need to mobilize there to have a benefit. We can mobilize this, put it in here. They're just regular uncertain. So, we can sway a couple people. Russia, what do you want? So if we sway like some of these guys, they're almost certainly going to back down. So we're going to sit on our maneuvers for now. We would love for them to just back down and us to get this without a fight. Minus 19 is not a big enough difference, so what we will do is we will sway Great Britain by offering treaty port. Let's actually sway Russia by offering a treaty port in here. And then we'll try and sway the UK by offering them a treaty port, and then this guy almost certainly backs down. And we just get the province. We miss out on ability to like accumulate some war reps from them, but they wouldn't pay too much in war reps anyways. Yeah, they're minus 75 fearful. Very likely they back down. Can still sway the UK, but it won't do anything because they're minus 75 anyways. We will keep an eye on this and we'll add more war goals if it looks like this is going to be fine. We're not adding them now because we want to be able to sway the UK if we have to. We're doing pretty good. Our investment pool is cranking up by quite a lot because our construction pool is empty. Okay, so let's fill this construction queue. Alright, you're fully employed, so let's up you by a bit. I know ammo's expensive. We finally managed to get the boom booms cheap. We're gonna expand this by 5. We're gonna add some rails. This stuff is also... Alright, we're just gonna expand here because you are fully employed anyways. And let's turn on some more. Getting services cheap is like really, really nice. So we're gonna go for covered markets here. But when services are cheap, it increases standard of living with a good that is not tradable, which means other people cannot import it into their market. So cheap services go a long way in terms of increasing migration by increasing standard of living in a way that cannot be siphoned off from you. Alright. I think a big thing about, or a big way that we got these boom booms a lot better, or a lot more, we kind of took care of the price a little bit, was decreasing the price of the inputs. Because the imports could not keep pace. Our imports on various goods could not keep pace with demands for these. So we'll up a lot of this as well. Just try and really handle these mines. I think we have all these on auto expansion, but we're gonna make sure that we have level 1 in all these and then go to auto expansion because we would like the queue to really pick up a lot if they can for auto expansion. And of course, it doesn't affect our bottom line at all. Or it's just this, just draining now, when we add a whole bunch in the construction queue. We will keep an eye on this. At the last minute, we will add a bunch. We're just not doing it now in case they, like, invite Austria or something, which would be wild, because that would break the alliance between Austria and Russia. The size of Syrian loans and gold reserves is, like, a big reason why this war might actually pop off, but what we will do is we will probably, revoke claims, mostly. War reps and revoke claims. Alright. War reparations. And revoke claims on some of these. I guess Syria... Well, let's have them revoke claims on our capital, for starters. And then Syria might be another good one. I guess Lebanon would be pretty good. I still think they're pretty likely to back down. Big reason why we don't want to put anything that accrues any infamy in as a war goal. We're going to check to see if we have insufficient tax capacity anywhere. We do. Because we want to be floating kind of more than 200 at this point. We have 43 battalions in reserve. I didn't realize we had so many more general or units. That's on me. Cocaine addict, hell yeah, brother. We don't mind them getting more clout, so we will promote. He is radical as well, which is nice. But we did expand the military quite a bit. Alright, looks like the war is gonna pop, so we will mobilize some boys. Wow, that they, like, want this heat. Alright, we'll land with... Once this goes through, we'll land with Ali. I guess we should have mobilized everyone. I don't know what we should have done. Not floated this much, this big a deficit, I guess would be one way to approach it. Man, Russia's just got their finger in every pie now. Oh, I didn't even see that they were colonizing here. Man, that's annoying. Once this guy does, or actually that 35 stack, Kamil bin Ali, once this guy's no longer in a battle, I think we land with him. He's a little confused here, though. Alright, we have a chance to get some approval and some attraction. I think we won it on our trade unionists, because this will give us the bonus and also the attraction to make them stay powerful for longer. And I think we can swap onto going proportional for now. We're trying to. We are going to have to add stuff to the queue. Let's see what's expensive in the markets and try and figure it out. Finally, we're starting to bring down some of these things that have been giving us some trouble for a while now. I guess steel is kind of expensive. We can up steel more here. Add a couple more rails there. And then iron is an input for steel. We have been increasing a lot of that. Let's do it where we have peasants. And then we probably have infrastructure problems here. Yeah, we do. And then, how are we doing over here? I think that'll be the last one we need. No, maybe not. How about Hokkaido and... yeah, Hokkaido's... we need a couple. I guess we should have put them at the front of the queue, but I was scratching my face. We're now losing 100k, this is fine. We are going to get off of... it's actually going to be a hot minute until we're negative with them to bump them out of the customs. Oh, we can just end it like this. And that will really crush the relations. Will it give us a truce? If it gives us a truce, we want to do it now. It does not. Okay, cool. We are going to check if we've gotten obligations. We got one from Kiva. I don't think we can invite them to the customs union, so we'll absolve to make them amicable. We might have to do more trade with them to make them happy. Can we protectorate the US? We can protectorate America. We will do that. Iraq, can we protectorate you? Nope, you're still defending the borders. Sind, can we... we can make a trade agreement with you, so we'll do that. We'll damage relations with the US now, with the hope of eventually annexing them for the tasty New York province. It is extremely good because it is one of the provinces that gets the electricity bonus. Speaking of electricity bonus, we're about to finish malaria prevention. Very nice. So we should start getting some real traction here. And maybe able to get something done. I don't know. Somehow this guy gets unassigned when he lands. Really hate how that works. Can we just leave out the treaty port? I don't think Russia accepts, is the problem. Yeah, they don't. We're somehow making a ton of money now. Oh, because we got proportional taxation. That is how we were making a ton of money. Alright. We want to expand colonial affairs. We do need more government administration. We see that we have insufficient tax capacity in a few places. I think we're solving Trabzon, but not Syria. So we'll just add 5. Add some there. We will want to go into rotary valve engine here. And I think we will up the uni by quite a bit here to try and get faster tech, more tech spread, etc. Social Democratic Party gets formed. Let's take a look. Of course, this pops us to illegitimacy. Let's see if we can fix that for now. We can fix it a little bit. We don't want to pull anyone out because the election's about to pop, but we will take a contested government for now. And just see how things shake out. And we want to kind of bring this deficit down before we expand construction some more. Do want to kind of push the economies of scale bonus. I think now that we are floating all this extra, we're going to do something like this to max economies of scale bonus in the capital. And also, we will survey some of the canals and stuff. Does it say Russia's damaging relations now? No, not with us. Okay. I was like, what? Wild. Our investment pool transfer, of course, has shrunk quite a bit. It's this plus this, and it shrunk when we did the tax. So notice it's almost flip-flopped. It was like 1.2 mil or something in here, and now it's down to around 700k. This is also a pretty big tech because it will use more fertilizers, which means the boom booms will get cheaper. So I think we're going to turn this back on as a result of that. France declares a rivalry. Okay. Well, who are you rivaling? The UK and us? Okay, I guess we can rival you. I was kind of hoping that we would have a friend in them. For when we go against Austria. Austria's now cautious towards us. Russia's still genial, but this is understandable. Do need to put stuff into the queue. I think we're gonna try and 51 this. Why are you not able to find people? Because this stupid trade center is employing them all? Okay, fair. I'll buy that. 51 of these. So we have, I think this is incorporated. Oh, no, it's not. Let's incorporate it. It's going to take a hot minute, but we will make something here at some point. I guess we don't need to do it now because it's not incorporated. Do want to incorporate this one as well. Don't need to. Just put that in now. I don't think... Actually, which one's Gabon? So we would get a claim on Russian Gabon. I think it also makes them mad at us. Alright, we'll just do this. There's enough land for everyone. For now. This guy's mobilized, so we want him on front anyways. Not all of our guys are mobilized. And we can expand construction. Or not expand construction, we have construction capacity that is unused. Let's see how we're doing with the rails. Need some there and there. Uh-oh, what's really profitable? The textile mills? Really? Alright. Shout out to the textile mills. I think we will make some textile industry somewhere like here then. We will not expand it all the way. We'll just do like 10 and then set it on auto expand and then build an oil rig which will increase migration. And then we will add a couple of these because you'll need them. And then let's take a look. We managed to protectorate kind of a lot of people this round. I think we protectorated the US so far this episode and a couple others. We'll propose a trade agreement with Cuba. Iraq, we're trying to get inside. We're trying to get you to the customs union. And Japan, we will open their market. Where's Cuba? Oh, I completely blanked on where Cuba is. Oh, there it is. Close to getting them in the customs union. Qing is importing luxury furniture. That's good for us. And we enforce. We get our territory. We're going to incorporate that, even though... So, this starts out as a Syrian state. Oh, okay, it's a homeland of Syria. We can still incorporate it in 2 years. But it's very funny because it's Irish. We're going to incorporate it just, even though we don't quite have, we didn't have the bureaucracy, we're going to incorporate it straight away. We're going to add another one of these. Standardized filing system. Delete this. I know there's not a lot of jobs here. We're going to put this on auto expand. And then we will, I think, close. That on auto expand. Syrian homeland. We are coming along quite nicely here. If you look at our market, we almost have all this in our market. We just have to do something about Quas mid-state. Who is the subject of Russia? So that's why we need to fight Russia. I guess we don't need to fight Austria, we just need to fight Russia. Or we need to fight Austria to get Egypt. But we will open their market. And if someone jumps in on this, we're kind of okay with that. We'll stop damaging relations. Move our two biggest boyos over here, just in case some weird stuff happens. And we will look to get them into our market after opening them. And opening Japan's market is probably my favorite low infamy play. I forgot, completely blanked out on what I was looking for. I think we're gonna need more resources though. See what's expensive. Sugar is expensive. Okay, I did want to try and import more sugar. Yikes. So, one nice thing is if you are on proportional taxation, you can afford to like build up the investment pool and then drain it a lot more than just like always have it draining perfectly. And so we're gonna try and make one of these places specialize in sugar here. Preferably an unincorporated state, but it's like pretty not a big deal if it's incorporated. So we're gonna do this and auto expand the sugar. And we're gonna do this and auto expand the sugar. And we're gonna do this and auto expand the sugar. And we will give rails to all of them. And dust up some rails here and here and here and here. Embargo ended. Was that on us? They stopped embargoing us. Cool. Let's improve relations with them. Getting them in our market would be pretty nice. What an ugly treaty port, though. I mean, they're a shadow of their former self, but it's fine. Great Qing sides with the Shogunate. This is a bit unfortunate. Because we have a huge volume of trade with Great Qing, but it giveth and it taketh away, because Beijing is a really nice state. We had been thinking about conquering Beijing. Unfortunately, conquering Beijing will be, well, this episode's getting really long, actually. So, I will actually conclude this episode here. In this episode, we got the uber-cursed Americas, and then we protectorated America. We protectorated a couple other countries as well. I can't remember them all. Did we get Iraq as protectorate? No, we can actually look who we're damaging relations with, because we protectorated most of those guys. We protectorated New Granada in America, I think, this episode, and so that was pretty productive. Working towards damaging relations with some of our protectorates to swap them to puppets, and this is kind of the scheme of the thing. Next episode, we will be doing this war here, and we will probably be snatching up Beijing. Even though it's going to kick us over 25 infamy, this is fine for on a temporary basis. As long as, yeah, they're confident. Okay, yeah, this is perfect for us. I do believe we can win this war. I have to double check whether or not we can win this war, actually. Let's just quickly look. What is your 2600 versus... Yikes, maybe we can't win this war. So we'll consider whether or not we want to add taking Beijing, because maybe we don't. Maybe we can't. Alright, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, YouTube algo stuff, and have a good day.